Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Monday, August the 10th. We are making our way through August now.
Already.
I'd like to thank KC Securities for their sponsorship of Special Report. I'm Chris Oldcorn here with
Daniel Laprade. Hope everybody is having a good Monday morning.
Yeah, so interesting weekend.
Yeah.
Your weather report told me Saturday would be a good day to go to the beach. Turned out no.
Yes.
Yes.
I acknowledge that I was wrong on Saturday, and this
You
is
had the
one
days
of the
mixed up, literally.
Yeah, this is one of the jobs where I can be wrong and I still have a job.
Yeah, well, weather reporters only right about 31% of the time, so you don't even need to be at 50%. You're already, better than average.
And it's true, it was a day off, right? Because we ended up with the heat yesterday.
Yesterday was great.
And boy, is it still humid out there.
Yeah, like yesterday would have been a perfect beach day because we got to 39 with the humidex, which is super hot.
Oh yeah. All night too. Like patrolling, working security. Like it's an air conditioning kind of night. We got our vests and stuff. We got all this gear, so you feel that heat. And that's gonna drop off though by tonight. We'll see that there's a front moving in, and then we're gonna have a lot of sun this week.
Good. And with regards to this weekend, so I went to the beach on Saturday,
right,
which was the wrong day. Literally, there was like no one there but us.
Which beach, by the way?
Oh, we went to Pancake Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. No problems with parking. There was plenty of spaces available because we're the only nuts there.
It looked pretty empty based on
there was this one family that showed up. I had two kids. Maybe one was a teenager. The other was maybe 8 or 9.
Yeah.
The two kids went like ankle deep in the water, turned around, came back. They sat on a picnic bench with their mom for like 2 minutes, turned around, and then left. And then when we were leaving, we were walking back, and there's like a bench on the way back to where the parking lot was, and there was an older couple sitting there, and they looked at us and they smiled and like, yeah, it looks like a great beach day. Meanwhile, they were literally in pants and sweaters. And I'm like, yeah, it was a fantastic day for the beach today. Yeah. So there is a video. I did blame Weather Daniel on my girlfriend's
I didn't know if you were going to actually have that to play, but I did see it because I was tagged in it.
Yeah. So I did get some reading done, so that was nice.
Yeah, I did notice you were reading. So
I did get some reading done, so that was about all I could do. And actually, I used the towel. Instead of to keep me dry after I got wet, I used it to keep me warm as a blanket.
Was it that cool?
Oh, it was like freezing. I was frozen. Yeah, I was frozen. Okay, so we're going to be back at 1. Just going to touch on this briefly. Doug Ford will be back at 1 with his normal announcement. And today, Christine Elliott, the Deputy Premier, Minister of Health, will be there. And so is the Solicitor General, Sylvia Jones. There's been nothing said really what this announcement is going to be about. So we'll be back at 1 o'clock for that, so that you can see the announcement live here on TV. And we'll also have an update on Sault Online after we know what the announcement is. But we had a good weekend. This weekend in the province, we continued now for 7 straight days of having less than 100 new cases a day. So this is very good news. Yeah. We had 79 new cases and 2 new deaths reported yesterday. 30 of our 34 health units reported 5 or fewer cases, and 18 of them had no new cases at all, including here in Algoma. We had no new cases as well. Right. And this follows up 70 cases on Saturday, 88 on Friday, 95 on Thursday, 88 on Wednesday. Our actual lab confirmed cases have hit just over 40,000. Okay. But that is from the beginning of the pandemic. Right. To put that into perspective, the average new cases in America right now is 54,000 a day over the last 7 days. Just to give you an idea. Literally 14,000 more cases per day than we've had in Ontario for the entire COVID-19 pandemic when we started to keep track back in January. They tested 28,000 on Sunday, 26,000 on Saturday. This means our positivity rate, and this is the first time, our positivity rate is 0.28. That's the first time our positivity rate's been below 0.3. Okay. Since way back in March. And also, David Williams, who's the Chief Medical Officer, he actually expects that at some point in August, we will have an average, rolling 5-day average of 50 new cases or less. Right now we're in like the mid-70s. So we still got to go a bit ways to get down to a 5-day rolling average.
Let's keep it going down, right?
Yeah, but he does say he does think it will happen sometime in August. Continuing the trend, 56% of the newly infected over the weekend were under the age of 40. That's actually down a bit. It was averaging over 60%. So that number's dropped down a bit. that was fully expected because people were going back to work. A lot of younger people work in retail and work in restaurants and places like that. So it was fully expected that part of the population, there'd be a spike in cases there. And on the weekend, they don't actually give us any numbers for hospitals. So we don't know how many people are in the hospital or in ICU or on ventilators. But we will have that information for you at 1 o'clock today. So if you come back for the 1 o'clock show, we will have that for you before Doug Fort's announcement.
Pardon me, my earpiece was falling out there. But yeah, so as well, today City Council will be meeting. It's their only meeting for August. They did meet twice in July because they had a special meeting.
Yes.
But normally they only meet. Now, I believe they're meeting now in the council chambers. I don't believe they're still doing Zoom.
I have not been informed that it wasn't Zoom.
Okay, I haven't been able to confirm that.
Yeah. I believe it's still Zoom.
It's still Zoom,
yes,
okay, but they should be able to be starting to do them in person soon. I'm not sure why they haven't, but
they're just being cautious, I think.
Yeah, they might not be able to figure out where to sit all the staff and whatnot. But they will, one of the items that they'll be talking about tonight will be whether to approve the new northern transfer point with Sault College. So they'd be looking to enter into a 50-year lease agreement with Sault College for their new northern transfer point
50
for
years. Wow.
Sault Transit. 50 years, yes.
Now
this is big too, right? Because this is going to be good for, we'll have something up on the hill in the central part of the city. This was part of the transit route optimization study that was done back in 2018. So they are recommending that they enter into this. So I don't see that there's going to be too many issues about that tonight. I think it will get approved.
It makes sense though if you think about it, because right now if you want to get some bus routes don't cross at all.
Yeah.
So if you're on one bus route and going to another bus route, you have to go down to the terminal downtown. Now they're moving the terminal downtown also over near where the border is. So that's even being moved further east,
as well,
further west. So it makes sense that they would want to have a second transfer point where the buses go to, so you don't have to go all the way down there and then go wherever you're going after that.
Absolutely. And if you want to read more information on all the resolution and some information from the report, you can go to SiouxOnline.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of awesome, our economy continues to add jobs. As a matter of fact, it added more jobs than economists were expecting this past month.
This is good.
We gained about 419,000 jobs, which is fantastic. However, our unemployment rate is still at 11%. But that's down from a high of 13.7% back in May. Now, we did gain 953,000 jobs in June, but that was when there was a bunch of provinces basically all sort of doing what we would call stage 3 here all at the same time, which meant a lot of people could go back to work. However, we're not halfway back to the total amount of 3 million jobs we lost because of COVID-19. So we're not even at 1.5 million jobs brought back yet. We're getting close. Probably in this next month coming up, we will go over that amount. But however, our unemployment rate is still 11%, which is still super high.
So we want to get that down. So.
Yeah, and the CERB is now, they're moving people from CERB back onto unemployment insurance. So that will going forward, we're going to see probably our unemployment numbers should start to go down, keep going down. Because even here we have people who are coming back who were off because of social distancing and things like that.
Right.
So like even at Sault Online on TV, we have people who are coming back to work now as well. So that's, at least those are good numbers. I mean, 400,000 is 400,000 people who can pay their mortgage or their rent, feed their families, all that. And that's extremely important, obviously, to everyone. And, hopefully things will continue to trend in the right direction for us.
Oh, absolutely. Also, we wanted to mention, I put a story on Friday night on our website, SiouxOnline.com. We received reports and some photos from viewers regarding a collision that happened in downtown, which caused a power outage. Many people had reported an explosion. Well, what that was the power pole, the hydro pole, was taken out by a single vehicle collision.
So the power box.
So that's what the explosion was, right? So what happened is the person left the scene. So the Sault Ste. Marie Police are seeking the public's assistance in relation to a single motor vehicle collision that occurred at 10:21 p.m. on Friday, August 7th, and it took place on the corner of Albert Street East and East Street. The collision did involve a motor vehicle which struck the hydro pole in the area. So anyone who may have witnessed this collision or has information about the collision is asked to contact Constable Adam Campbell at 705-949-6300, extension 5348. I know Adam, he's a great officer. So, yeah.
And
I mean,
speaking of...
well, and the weather conditions for Friday night were not a factor, I don't believe, in that one because it was a nice night.
Yeah, it had stopped raining at that point.
So,
unlike when I was at the beach and it was raining. But
yes.
Go on. Let's hear about your corpse flower.
Yeah, I'm going to just talk about, before we get into the camera, I'm going to talk about, this came up in my feed. There's a corpse flower.
This is the flower basket you send to your ex.
Yeah. There's a corpse flower that's getting ready to bloom in Toronto. And I don't know if you've ever smelt what rotten flesh smells like.
I haven't had the privilege.
Well, actually, in one of my previous professions in the funeral home, well, it's just something you got to deal with sometimes, unfortunately. But if you think of a garbage dump, a sweaty gym clothes, imagine a worst case scenario like that, it smells horrible. So these only bloom once every 7 to 10 years. Yeah, there it is up on your screen. We actually have one here at the Bellevue Park Greenhouse. It's not blooming yet, but this one's in Toronto. It is blooming. So the actual official name is Amorphophilus titanum, if I said it right.
Gotta love Latin. It's so easy to pronounce.
Yeah,
right?
you know, and
that's why the language went dead.
These can reach up to 3 meters in height, and they're very hard. There's not many of them in Canada. Like,
thank goodness.
You're not gonna see that, but I just thought it would be good to mention that. I saw that.
Yeah, that's.
If you are in Toronto and you want to go see a corpse flower,
have some fun.
Yeah. So you're going to see now a live view of our waterfront camera, sponsored by wirelesscom.ca. And look at that, no fog today.
I was going to say we can actually see something today.
Yeah, it was foggy yesterday too. But yeah, it's the sun is out, but we do have that chance of thunderstorms today, and it'll be a little bit dicey for the day before we get this cleared out for the sun for the week. So when we come back, I will head over to the weather studio and have your full weather forecast details, your 3-day forecast, and your northeastern Ontario temperatures. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
A message from the Government of Canada.
It's easier to say nothing than blend in. But I need to speak up for what I know is right. I have a voice. I can lead the way. I will be a light in my community.
Welcome back to Special Report for Monday, August the 10th, brought to you by KC Securities. I'm Chris Oldcorn, and I'll be going over to Weather Daniel in just one sec. But first, we got our Facebook shoutouts for this morning. So good morning to Vanio. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And also Ineki. Thank you very much for saying good morning on our Facebook Live chat feed. If you want to interact with us live on the air, you can do so. Go to our Facebook page, click on the live show as it is streaming out on Facebook Live. And on the side of the screen, you will see a chat box. You can say good morning and we'll do shout outs. If you have any birthdays, anniversaries, anything like that, we can do that live on the air. It's the only chat we actually see when we're live on the air. So if you want to interact with us, that's how you can. And now we're going to go over to the weather studio with Weather Daniel. What's going on, buddy?
Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, we love when people interact with us, even when it's the weather, you want to send in a photo too, or even if you want to comment on anything going on. And of course, stay connected with us. Go to SiouxOnline.com, go to the sidebar where it says stay connected. You can go to Twitter, Facebook, you can subscribe on YouTube. It's all there for you, so make sure you check that out as well. And I want to do a special birthday shout out today for my operations manager at KC Security, Carl Worth. It is his birthday, so happy birthday, Carl. Unfortunately, he has to still work tonight, so no birthday off. But yes, thank you very much, Carl. Carl's very dedicated and been with us since day one. All right, so I'm going to get into the radar. Oh, look at what's coming over here. We got this low pressure system. Now, this is the unstable weather that we're going to see today that might bring us some thunderstorms. This big cell here is moving east and kind of tracking right towards us, but we also have little pockets here. So this high pressure behind here is going to move in probably into tomorrow morning, into the early afternoon. We're going to see that move in. We're going to get through the next 12 hours are going to probably be dicey. We might see some severe and strong thunderstorms, as you can see on your screen there. That's a big cell that's right over in the US there. So keep an eye on that, and we will get through that and you will see some sun. All right, your expected highs for the region today. 27 in Thunder Bay, Wawa, the cool spot, once again, 20 degrees, 28 in Timmins, there's a heat warning up there for you guys, so 27 here in Sault Ste. Marie, 26 in Elliott Lake, and 29 in Sudbury. Your expected lows for the region, 17 in Thunder Bay, and I love this, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, look at that. 14 in Wawa, 15 in Timmins, 16 here at Sault Ste. Marie, 17 in Elliott Lake, and 18 in Sudbury. Talk about having the numbers in sequence. So you're currently sitting at 22 degrees out there. Now that icon that you're seeing is not what's currently happening outside. It is sunny at the moment, but you are going to expect to see some thunderstorms today and potentially strong ones. High of 27 with a humidex of 36, so the humidity is still going to be around, and it will clear out into the overnight. That's when we'll get down to 16 and you'll get some relief from that humidity. 13 kilometer an hour winds to the west today. So getting into the 3-day, as you can see, it's pretty simple. I don't have to really talk too much about it. Sun, 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 27 degrees, 17 overnight on Tuesday, 28 and 18 on Wednesday, and 29 and 18 on Thursday. So as you can see, we are going to get into some good weather. 7-day looks pretty good too. I'll have that with your weather watcher coming up a little later on in the show. I'll send it back over to Chris and I'm going to go back and join him.
Thank you very much, Weather Daniel, for the 3-day outlook. And yes, we will have the 7-day forecast a little bit later on in the show. If you want to, one thing that actually helps us with viewers is on Facebook. If you are watching the Facebook live feed, there is a share button, and you can share that to your homepage. You can share it to a group, and you can also share it to your Facebook story as well. And then more people can find out about the show. So we greatly appreciate it if you do that. We normally get anywhere from about 10 to 25 shares every show, but the more people that share it, the more we can get the word out. So thank you very much to everyone who does share, and thank you to everyone in the future who are also going to share. So thank you very much. We got to hit a commercial break, but I'll be back with Daniel in just 2 minutes. Hold tight.
Recently, The Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
And welcome back to a special report for Monday, August the 10th, brought to you by KC Securities. Okay, so America yesterday hit a new milestone. They hit 5 million cases of COVID-19 in their country now, and they have 162,000 deaths since they first identified the very first case of COVID-19 in the U.S. back in January. But health officials believe that the amount of people exposed could be as much as 10 times higher than that, because a lot of people get it. They're asymptomatic, or they only have a mild cold and they don't even go to the doctor. So that would mean close to 50 million people in the U.S. have been exposed. One of the reasons why they say that the number's only at 5 million, not higher, is because there has been limited testing at certain points in time. Right. And the fact that people are just asymptomatic and they never even know that they have the virus. Now, the good thing is, last month, they were peaking at over 70,000 new cases a day. As I mentioned earlier, they're now down to 54,000 new cases a day across the U.S. Most of those cases, though, are coming from 5 states, which is California, Florida, Texas, New York, and Georgia. They account for 40% of all of the infections in the U.S. And then on Saturday, President Trump signed an executive action bypassing Congress to defer payroll taxes for some Americans and to extend unemployment benefits after talks on new coronavirus rescue packages collapsed in the over with the House of Representatives and the Senate. So
legal challenges there. I'm sure.
Yeah, and now now they're talking about doing something in the Senate and House of Representatives now that Trump has actually done something about it. So,
of course. Now, you want to see zeros, right, for COVID, but you don't want to see zeros if you're Toronto Maple Leafs.
Toronto Maple Leafs. That was not a good number last night.
No. Of course, they came back the other night. They were down, and they did that miracle comeback, but they lost 3-0 yesterday, so they're now out. So the Canadian teams are now dwindling here. So they did stage that comeback on Friday's Game 4 and win in overtime, but last night they just couldn't pull it off. They just, they were flat. And talking to Alex, our own Alex Parr, who's a very avid Leafs fan, he's a little bit devastated this morning.
Yeah, I mean the Leafs haven't made it past the first round of playoffs, I think, since 2004 or something.
No, and you know what?
At least the Raptors are doing good, though.
We may never see them win in our lifetime. The Raptors, 5th consecutive 50-win season. So after the NBA's 4-month break, including a 2-month stretch, Pascal Siakam is back as well. And he scored 26 points, including 2 big 3-pointers down the stretch on Sunday, and the Raptors clinched the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference with a 108-99 victory over Memphis. So they have done this for the 5th consecutive season, and after going their first 20 seasons falling short of that mark. They improved to 4-1 in the NBA's restart at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, and when they won the championship, they were 50-19 as well in the season at that point too. So they are literally on the same track, and they don't even have some of their star players left after they won the championship too. So Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still doing awesome. So anyways,
good
we got to
job.
hit a commercial break, and we will be back right after this.
Even though we can't always meet in person, we can still listen.
Even though schools are closed, help is still available in your community.
Even though you may be worried, services and supports are still here.
In stressful times like these, families need mental health supports more than ever.
We are here to make sure you can stay connected to your community and culture.
Nous savons qu'il peut être difficile de rester à la maison, mais vous n'êtes pas seul.
And we know asking for help for yourself and others can be hard.
But there are people in your community who are ready to support you.
No matter your age, gender, sexual identity, race, or culture.
No matter the day, time, or issue.
We're here to help.
Welcome back to Special Report for Monday, August 10th. Hope everybody is having a great morning this morning. So we're going to get into the Weather Watcher and the 7-day forecast here. And so the Weather Watcher photo, we had some fog on Sunday, Chris. Lots of fog.
Especially when I got up in the morning, I couldn't even see the houses around the building.
It was quite a bit of fog. So here, you're going to see it come up on your screen now. This is a shot over Trout Lake. And beautiful shot there. The fog is lifting in that shot, but I'm sure when it was down, it was completely covered and you couldn't see anything. I know there was a few spots where I was where it was really thick. Sault Ste. Marie is known for that too, certain random areas where you have just pockets of fog. Send in your photos and videos, weather related, to ontvweather@gmail.com. Include where you're sending them from, your name and location, so I know where the photo is. And you could be anywhere. We have viewers that are all over the world, so if you're viewing us from somewhere, a different country or different province, doesn't matter. We'll put your weather photo up. All right, so looking at your 7-day forecast, as mentioned, 3 days of sun. 27, 28, and 29 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, Saturday, it will be okay as well. 27, 28, and then Sunday we may see a change, 25 degrees and some showers, and it goes back down to seasonal on Monday. And the overnight lows are between 16 and 18 degrees, which is around seasonal. So that's pretty much what's going on in the 7-day. Lots of sun.
Nice. So OPP had a little bit of a issue with someone this weekend who wasn't drunk, but was drunk before and wasn't allowed to be driving.
Yes.
to make a sobriety check more confusing as possible. Yes.
You know, and so I'm going to read it just so we get it right on here. Yeah. So August 7th, 2020 at approximately 10:30 p.m., members of the Superior East Detachment of the OPP were patrolling Highway 17 near Agawa Bay, which is up, towards Wawa there. Officers caught up to an SUV driving very slowly and unsteadily. A traffic stop was initiated and to determine if the driver was impaired. So the driver was found to be sober, however, prohibited from driving a motor vehicle. So as a result, Jose Ramirez Sosa, 44 years of age from Calgary, was arrested and charged with operation while prohibited. And the vehicle was towed and impounded for 45 days. And the accused was released from custody and will be scheduled to appear in court on September 14th in Wawa. He's from Calgary.
Yeah, interesting. So basically, he lost his license for drunk driving. Then he got caught because they thought he was drunk and driving. Maybe he was just a bad driver.
He's just a horrible driver.
And then he gets pulled over because they think he's drunk and he's not drunk, but he already was drunk and then got charged.
And then he's prohibited from
driving. Okay. Very, very confusing story there. Alrighty. There was a lady caught with $38,000 worth of gold bars in her pants trying to enter the U.S. She had 14.25 ounces of gold bars in her possession, as well as $13,500 worth of cash trying to go into the U.S. Obviously, they caught her. They said, "You're not going in," sent her back to Canada. And she was apparently trying to visit a friend in San Francisco who apparently needed some gold bars. We'll be back at 1 o'clock today with Doug Ford, Christine Elliott, and the Solicitor General, Sylvia Jones. That will be at 1 p.m. here in Special Report. Thank you very much for watching. You'll have news all day, and you'll see us back at 1. Watch my show at 7, and the evening news at 5:30. Have a great morning.
See you in 1.